find this question kind of difficult to answer because all the things that we mentioned, it's crazy that we can actually be all of those things to one another and still have some level of courtesy and respect. We've all been assholes to our boy, but it was still like we know how to keep it funny. You know what I mean? So I know it's weird because it's hard to describe, but you know what it looks like when it's not there. It's hard to describe what it is, but you know what it looks like when it's not there. You know what it looks like when there is no courtesy and no respect between men. And I guess how I look at it is just to use the panel as an example, because me and Bruiser talked about this. I think it was either yesterday or today. And I was telling them about how I view the men on this panel. And I was like, I try my best not to be disrespectful. Like, we keep it funny. We can crack jokes on each other, all of that. But I try my best to keep it funny because one day I actually do plan on being in a room with all of y'all. One day, like, we can't be disrespectful in this space. Why? Because one day we're all going to be in a room together. And it's not the fear of, oh, well, I fear getting into it with one of y'all or us, shooting a fade. It's not being able to chill with y'all that scares me. Not being able to be in a room with y'all and have a drink. Not being able to be in a room with y'all and exchange thoughts and smoke a cigar and watch the game. Because that's what I look forward to. One day we're all going to be in a room together, and we should be able to kick it with one another and be brothers. So when I think of respect and courtesy, that's what I'm aiming for every time I encounter men in my life. Is I want to be able to share camaraderie with every man that I encounter in my life, and I already know that when shit hits the fan, you know that that's impossible. Like I said, it's hard to describe what it is because we can be any and all of those things and still be respectful to one another. But we definitely know when disrespect is there and when the lack of courtesy is there.
Well, Sweeney, what about the times where you don't realize that you was disrespectful and someone says, I didn't like what you said, or I'm offended by what you said. How do you respond to
that? It takes a reflection. And sometimes it may not, sometimes our egos get in the way, right? And in the heat of the moment, you want to dig your heels in and double down. But there ain't been a time where, honestly, I felt like, where I was truly wrong, and I haven't been able to come back and be like, you know what, yeah, I messed up on that one. Well, no, I'd be lying if I said that. There has been some times where I doubled down, even later on, but I'm one stubborn bastard. But I would say what it truly looks like is being able to reflect and be able to come back and say, you know what, my bad, bro. You know what I mean? Because like there's a difference between I think we talked about it a while ago, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, it's just being able to apologize and acknowledge what you did wrong. And sometimes it requires a whole group of people to tell you wrong. Sometimes you got to read the room. Sometimes when 6 motherfuckers tell you, hey, bro, you're fucking up, man. You gotta hear the room sometimes.
I think the love too, or love and forgiveness is evident a lot of times between men, because I can say I got enough love for the guys on this panel right now where sometimes they might cross me and lose some respect, but I'll give it right back, and we'll chop it up and act like nothing ever happened. Like Marcus will like tell me, man, shut the fuck up talking to me, dog. And I'll be like, all right, man, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, hey, look, I apologize. And then I think he loved me enough to be like, all right, man, I got you, man. Just don't do that shit again. I think when we love each other like that, man, we can kind of lose respect and get it back if we're genuine about the fact that we was out of line and we crossed the boundaries with one another. And I think that's what it's all about. It's just making sure we're safe around each other and know how not to cross the line. And when we do cross the line, can we come to you know, a forgiveness and show love to each other again and get back on track. And that's what I like about this group. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. We might not do it immediately or often, but at some given point, you know, we're able to get there at some point.
It's literally the reason why we can throw hands with one another and shake hands afterwards. Like you can be like, man, bro, hey, look, this time we just got to squabble. And then two men can squabble and shake hands right afterwards and walk away as friends. I've had that happen to me. I done fought somebody and we became friends the next day. I'm sure all of us have had that experience if you've been in a fight before. It's just, you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
And one of my early experiences with this was when I was younger, running the streets, and you'll catch somebody, man, what you is, you'll scan them, whatever. Like, man, I'm a man before anything. And the first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, we gave him a pass. And then one time I got caught. Off of, man, I'm a man before anything. And it's that mutual respect. It's that, and we could do it to you. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna let you slide type of deal. So just being able to show that respect of that you're a man. I see that you're a man. Now, if I don't respect you, then it's gonna go the other way. But if you're showing that you're respectful and like, hey, y'all got me. And it's like some people, if they're honorable, they're gonna let you slide.
I got another question. Do you guys think that the women are offered that same courtesy, the same opportunity when it comes to if they feel disrespect? Are you guys going to come back and say, hey, my bad? Or do you think it's a double standard when it comes to it?
No, women hold grudges.
What you mean, like be able to go to a woman and say my bad, and then
you saying do women do that amongst themselves?
So for an example, right? I know Darwin brought up. He brought up if you disrespect somebody on the panel. So even on a panel, right, when a woman feels disrespected or she said she didn't like what was said, do you think that they are awarded the same courtesy or the same opportunity as far as kind of level setting it?
I say usually.
I would say yeah, usually, yeah, absolutely. But it depends, though. You can't say that I feel disrespected if if I say the sky is blue, you say it's green, and I'm like, we all can see that the sky is blue. You can't say I feel disrespected. Now, I would agree. I would say that as far as like a personal type deal, then yeah. Because even if something is true, that doesn't mean that they don't feel disrespected when you mention it. So if you mention something personal about them and they feel disrespected, that doesn't make it any less disrespectful just because it's true. So you might be like, yeah, I ain't mean for that to get out there like that, or I didn't know that was a soft spot for you or something like that. But I've seen people feel disrespected because you spoke generally about something. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. How you feel disrespected just because we just talking about a group of people, or whatever.